Good evening, and welcome to our second week of registration for the Tallahassee Civic Corral. My name is Dr. Leslie, and I will be our director for this fall semester. If you are returning to the group, if you were here last week, or if this is not your first semester, welcome back. If you are new to the group, or if this is your first week with us, welcome. We're going to start out tonight with doing some vocal warm-ups. Once we're done with that, then we're going to have a little talk about our breath and why it's so important. Our first warm-up for the night will sound like this. Join with me. Chance during these warm-ups, if the notes go too high or if they go too low and they're uncomfortable for you to sing, simply drop out on those notes and join us again once they're comfortable. Our second exercise for the evening will sound like this. One more time, that vocal exercise. Join with me this time. Exercise is going to be a nice legato or connected exercise. The last one that we did, you could hear little bursts of silence between the notes that we sang. This one, we don't want to hear any silence. We want one note to go directly into the next note. Mi, ah. One more time. Mi, ah. This time join me. Mi, ah. 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 Good. And we have one more vocal warm-up tonight. It's similar, but not the exact same. This one, we want to make sure that our voice is moving just a little bit faster. Mi, ah, ah, ah. One more time. Mi, ah, ah, ah. This time join me. Mi, ah, ah, ah. 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 Mi, ah, ah, tonight, I would like to have a little talk about breath and why it is so important for us as singers. I like to think of breath as the gas that makes the car go. If you think about it this way, you can have a car that's very fancy, that has a very special paint job on the outside and has a fancy moonroof and a really wonderful sound system. But if the car doesn't have any gas in it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to sit there and look pretty. And the same thing is for our voice. We might have a beautiful sound and a nice range where we can sing lots of high notes and lots of low notes. And if we have no breath to make the vocal folds vibrate and make this resonant sound, we're not going to hear anything. So I think of breath as the gas that makes our car go. Now, when we think about breath, I know many of us have heard to have a nice, low, deep, diaphragmatic breath. Don't breathe from the shoulders, don't breathe clavicularly, but breathe down low. But how does this happen? During the inhalation process, we want air to go in either through the nasal passageways or the oral passageways. I prefer the oral through the mouth because you can get a lot more air in during a short amount of time. Sometimes when we breathe in through our nose in a short amount of time, it can actually cause tension. I'm going to demonstrate and watch what happens to my nose and to my neck, and also listen to the sound that it makes. Did you also see my shoulders go up? I'll do it one more time. Now, if I breathe in through my mouth, we have this nice relaxed look and feeling in our larynx. Our shoulders stay down and we see our abdominal area move. Now, the most important muscle when we are inhaling is our diaphragm. Our diaphragm is this dome-shaped muscle. It's actually the second largest muscle in our body, and it sits underneath in our epigastrium area, right underneath where you bring your fingers up on your ribs and they connect to your sternum. Right up in there, connects there. And as you breathe in, the diaphragm contracts and goes down and flattens out a little bit. It can only move about 2.5 inches down, and that might not seem like a lot, but in the singer's world, it's huge. It makes a massive difference for us. Now, when this moves down, at the same time, our ribs, we want to move out and have a nice extended, lifted feeling. I'm going to actually move the camera up so that I can demonstrate this better. Okay. So as we breathe in, you can see we want the ribs to move up. And then as we sing, we want them to stay up. We don't want to have this collapsing back and forth because our ribs are collapsing as our diaphragm goes down. Now, what happens when we exhale? When we exhale, our abdominal muscles, specifically our obliques that run on the sides, think of them as the muscles that give that curve for women, and also the transverse muscles. Those are the ones that cross. They connect on both sides and run each side of our body. Those are the ones that contract and push up on the diaphragm, which then pushes up on the lungs, and then the air comes out. Our lungs don't actually move on their own. They're not a muscle. They're actually fibrous tissue. So they are dependent upon another body part, our ribs and our diaphragm, to move. For example, this balloon as your lung. The air has come in, and you have your abdominal muscles. My hand is the abdominal muscles. They're up against the diaphragm, and as the abdominal muscles contract, they push the balloon and start to push the air out. And depending upon how hard you press and how much air you let out through your vocal folds will determine how quickly the air goes out. One more time. The diaphragm contracts and goes down. Air goes in your lungs. It's held there, and then your abdominal muscles push up against your diaphragm, which then pushes into your lungs, and out comes the air. Then once you have all of your air exhaled, you have the feeling inside of wanting to inhale again. This is a very simplified version of the actual breathing process. There are many muscles that are involved in this process, in the inhalation and exhalation process. But I thought it would be a good thing to try and have a visual to see how one expands and gets bigger, and then the other pushes up against it and brings that air out. And all the while, we want it to be happening low, diaphragmatically, not clavicularly. We don't want to see our shoulders moving up and down because we're not actually getting as big of a breath as we think we are when we breathe clavicularly, nice and low. So, thank you very much for coming to our discussion tonight, for coming and doing some warm-ups with me. Next week is our last week of registration. If you have any friends that you know would like to join us, we would love to have them. Next week, we'll be giving a little bit more instructions on how to access chorus connection and also about the music that we will be performing for our semester. So, thank you, have a good evening, and I will see you next week. Bye.